welcome to your first ever Masterclass.
With the country's top 24 amateur cooks nearly decided, it's time to celebrate with some great food and tips from the professionals.
It's like being the first day at school, isn't it?
Living legend Alla Wolf-Tasker serves up a stunning spiced warm duck salad.
I'm here today to show you how easy it can be to cook duck.
It's unreal.
George and Matt Moran prepare a French-inspired fillet of roast beef.
Compliments to the chef.
We surprise ourselves sometimes.
And Gary finishes up with a simple yet elegant fresh fig and frangipane tart.
Oh, my God. I love my own cooking, but that's wonderful.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Welcome. Well, welcome to your first ever Masterclass. I see you got your little pads and pens ready. That's good stuff. More importantly, look at this. How beautiful is this spot? This is Daylesford. It's only 100 k's out of Melbourne. Hour and a half's drive, or if you're George, about an hour. Yeah, crazy guy. But it's a beautiful place. It's a culinary centre, a gourmet centre of Victoria. Anybody that lives in Melbourne, this is probably one of their favourite getaways. It certainly is mine.
As a chef, this place is a food mecca. Amazing restaurants, amazing springs. The organic vegetables are possibly the best in the country.
It is truly beautiful and truly incredible. And strangely, even though the rest of the country think it rains in Victoria all the time, it's gorgeous. So this year's Masterclass is a little bit different. Last year was all about a retrospective, a look at mistakes that you made, correcting them and putting you on the right path. It is crucial this year that you pay attention. It's about new techniques, it's about little tips and tricks that are going to help you going forward in this competition.
What a week it's been. Kevin, tell us about your week.
It's been an amazing week.
The very first person through to the top 24, Big Kev.
And I've had the benefit of sitting with a smile on my face, watching everybody else cook away and sweat it up. But I've enjoyed every moment.
Bo, can you believe you actually pulled off a Shannon Bennett dessert?
I can believe it now, but yeah, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it.
This apron goes to Bo.
Just a bit worried about one thing though. I'll probably get punched in the face by my mates and they find out I got in on something called a peach Melba.
You might be wondering what's going to happen today. Well, the 18 that are already through and safe in the competition, you're going to have a fantastic day. We've got a special guest that's going to come and give you a very special masterclass.
And the 12 of you that are still battling it out to get into that top 24 are going to come with Matt and I for a little private masterclass. Matt?
Yep.
Let's go, guys.
See you, boys.
See you
See you
guys.
guys.
Come on, let's go.
Come on, guys, chop, chop.
Come on.
We're not going to worry about those 12 because we got a cracker lined up for you. We've got a very, very special guest. She's been awarded 2 chef's hats and she actually earned a living legend status from the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. You may or may not know that you're actually standing in the grounds of this wonderful woman's beautiful property, and it is, of course, the Lakehouse, and the living legend is Alla Wolf-Tasker.
I'm Alla Wolf-Tasker and I'm the executive chef of the Lakehouse in Daylesford. I've been cooking professionally as a chef for over 30 years. I think the ability to cook for people and to share food with people is a way of expressing love, joy, and above all, hospitality, of course. The style of food here at Lakehouse, we really don't want to be like anyone else. It's never just about the dish. If I know where the food's come from, then that makes for something special.
Alla Wolf-Tasker, welcome. This is their first masterclass. How special. They've got you, giving them a few little tips. Can't believe it.
We'll see how we go. Welcome to our house and welcome to our place in Daylesford.
Now, there's a few fans in this little group, but I know there's one person over there, Alice, who's all gone, look, you've gone all, you know, shy and a bit
I'm
coy.
so embarrassed.
Oh, come on, then tell us.
Well, I don't know if Alla will remember, but a few years ago I won a competition on the radio with Red Simons, and it meant that
Oh, at the market.
I got to go to the market.
Oh, I
with
thought you looked familiar.
And when I saw that we were on our way to the Lakehouse, I think the people that were around me on the bus saw how excited I got, because it's such an honour to be here. I'm humbled because you really are one of my heroes.
Look at you now, part of MasterChef.
I know.
How great.
Who wants to see Alla cook?
Yes.
I think that's what we should do. So what's the dish?
We're calling it a warm duck salad with sweet, salty, sour and bitter flavours. And what this dish is about finding a whole lot of complementary things that we can add to duck that goes with it. And the reason we're doing duck is I think a lot of people worry about cooking duck at home, and people tend to only eat duck when they eat out. I'm here today to show you how easy it can be to cook duck. But what you can do is make this dish as easy as you like for yourselves. It might only just have the duck breast and one or two of the components, or you can turn it into a proper restaurant dish.
Sounds good. So what are we going to do first?
We're going to make a little orange spice rub, because it's a good thing to pre-cure the duck, and this is a dry cure that we're going to use.
Let's have a look at what we've got here.
Well, we've got Szechuan pepper, white pepper, coriander seed.
Teaspoon of each?
Yes, we're going to just wait until we get that lovely aroma from them. Once they're completely toasted, we're going to grind them down with a little bit of sea salt with the mortar and pestle. And duck has a real affinity for orange. So what I have is some dehydrated orange zest. You can leave it in an oven just overnight with a pilot light on, and that'll be enough. We're just adding some of that orange rind in to the mortar and pestle.
And then what are we looking for on these spices?
I think that's enough, actually.
That's
yes.
good. Smells wonderful. Alice, you want to jump up?
Okay. If you insist.
You want this nice and fine. This is one that you've prepared earlier.
Yes,
so
that's
Alice,
one I prepared earlier.
So, you know, have a look at that.
Okay.
Your dry cures at home, you can make them as complicated or as simple as you like, and you can start playing with different spices. This is just one version.
Alice?
Yep.
Just stay there 1 second. Is that good enough?
Yeah, beautiful. And the other thing that the duck will need is to have the skin scored. And today we're just going to deal with duck breasts. The reason we score the skin is that when we actually come to cooking the duck, what we want is to get some of that fat out from under the skin. Okay, so we're going to, we're rubbing this orange spice into the flesh side. We only rub it into the underside. We only rub it into the flesh side.
And why is that?
Because there's got a fair bit of salt in it, and it's going to start drawing out juices. The whole point of this exercise is to then put the duck breast back into the fridge, skin side up, uncovered, for at least, I think, probably 4 to 5 hours, because you want that skin to really, really dry out, and it'll dry out uncovered in the refrigerator.
Yep. Alice, great job. Fantastic. Thanks to Alla.
Thank
Sit
you.
back down.
Thank you.
Right.
Lovely.
Right, so what's the next step of the dish?
We're going to make a silky, beautiful silky puree to go with the duck. So we need to fire that up on a medium heat. Okay, so we're going to start off with a little bit of butter, 2 shallots. Once you've got your shallots sort of softening, you've got a lovely little bit of caramelisy kind of flavour coming up, we're going to add our 2 carrots there. And we're adding some cumin seeds, some coriander seeds and a piece of star anise. Okay, so we throw that in. Once this has started to soften, and it has, and you've got lovely aroma, we cook it in carrot juice. So this is freshly squeezed carrot juice. Don't go and buy the,
So through a machine, and how many carrots in there?
2.
2 carrots.
2. Now, while we're on the subject of carrots, though, can you pass me
these are slightly different.
Because these are things that have just been picked out of the ground up here, and I want you to be aware of them. Everyone thinks that carrots only come in that colour. Well, they don't. They're red, purple, yellow, white, heirloom varieties, which are being rediscovered and thankfully being grown again.
Everybody seen these before? Look at that.
Fabulous colour. Still got a lovely scent of carrot. So what we've done, we've very, very finely shaved it with a vegetable peeler, and then a julienne, a very fine julienne, and this will be a crunchy raw component for the salad. And this is a black radish. So, and this is lovely because we're going to use a little bit of this as well on top of the dish for the salad, and this adds a peppery flavour.
So, come and try, first of all, the carrot, because it's interesting. You can tell us what a purple carrot tastes like.
Tastes
like a carrot.
Like a carrot, but it looks
really
better.
sweet, isn't it? It looks fabulous.
Can I try some of the radish?
Absolutely.
Yeah, here you go. I'm on it already, Bo. Seriously.
Don't mess around.
Go on, describe that one.
Just like a radish.
Just
bit
wait.
more,
Just
peppery.
wait, and you'll get the pepper on the palate. Just wait. You're getting it now?
Yeah, a little bit more bitter as well.
Yeah, it's sweet at the beginning and then quite strong at the
Beautiful.
end.
So what we've got here, this has been cooking for about 12 to 15 minutes.
All right, so once we've got it completely soft and it's all reduced, we're going to add some cream and then cook it down for about a minute or so. Take the star anise out and discard that. And then we're going to puree that down.
Right. So that looks okay.
That looks pretty smooth, actually.
Quite smooth, but you want to pass that through a sieve.
Well, I mean, that's if you're translating it into a restaurant dish. Multiple passing through fine sieves is what restaurant craft is all about.
Yep.
It takes it from a straight puree into a really silky, velvety, on the palate sort of thing.
And then that's ready for the finished dish. So we're halfway through this wonderful duck dish. So what's the next step of the dish?
OK, so thinking about the dish now, we're going to have duck breast, we've got the carrot puree and sweet, salty, sour, a little bit of bitterness in the various flavours. So the next ingredient we're going to use is Witlof. Do you use Witlof? Do people know about Belgian endive? It's quite often called.
So it's quite a bitter leaf, so...
Well, the small amount of bitterness that you've got in here is actually perfect for the duck. But today we're going to braise it down in a sweet sour caramel, and we're going to start off by melting a little bit of butter in the pan. Once we get the butter melted and foaming, we're going to add our Witlof and then start colouring it on all sides. You can use Witlof raw. It's beautiful in salads, beautiful with blue cheese. I'm going to now add more butter.
Yum.
We're then going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar to start the caramel. Turn your Witlof around so there's no undissolved sugar in it. We then deglaze with some red wine vinegar. And we cook that strong, pungent smell of vinegar off. So we're going to add the orange zest, and then
so how much zest?
2 oranges. Zest of 2 oranges.
We can smell that too.
You can smell it?
Yeah.
It's
It's
great.
nice, isn't it?
And then we're going to add the juice of 2 oranges, goes in there. So it'll take about, I think about 8 to 10 minutes to just braise that down over a medium heat. Back to the duck. So the duck has been scored, and the whole point now is to put the duck on just a medium heat, 3 to 5 minutes, probably on the skin. You'll find a whole lot of duck fat will come out, and you'll need to pour that out. So Gary, you're going to
I'll have a look at it. You can see how much fat is leached out of that already. That's gorgeous. It smells delicious.
You want to get rid of the majority of the fat because that will allow your skin to go really, really crisp and coloured. Ramp up the heat. 2 minutes like that and we're just going to get some colour into it, OK? We're blessed with, again, beautiful ripe figs from the area. So how good are they? So figs and duck are a marriage made in heaven also, and they're going to be added to the duck dish, again for sweetness. So that's going to be rather nice.
Can I turn this over?
Yes. Flip it over in just 2 minutes on the other side and then rest.
So, happy with that? Take that out. That's been in a couple of minutes.
I think it's probably just a fraction over, Gary, but that's OK.
We'll find out when we cut it.
All right, so we're just going to do a little simple dressing. It's just vincotto. You know vincotto? Yeah. So in Italian it means cooked wine. You can use a good quality balsamic vinegar perhaps instead, and some red wine vinegar. And the base of the dressing we're actually just going to heat up a little bit, and then just we're going to drizzle in. I use a nice neutral oil, grapeseed oil.
Okay.
Nice sort of thick.
Yeah, it's really thick, isn't it?
It's warm. It's warm, so it's not going to make the dish get cold. OK, so we're now going to start building the dish. A little bit of the carrot puree. I'm going to put a little bit of dressing on the plate first. I'm going to put down some Witlof. And let's have a look at your duck, Gary. So what we do first of all is we're just going to trim it down a little bit.
So these little bits here.
These are the little bits that Gary gets to eat.
No, here, I'm joking. No, no.
There's a little... And I've got to say, Gary, beautifully cooked duck.
It's all right, isn't it?
Gary.
Some of these duck pieces, we're going to crumble a few little bits of the pancetta.
Jules.
And slip in... Oh, you've got some favourites already on the show.
No, everybody's my favourite.
Slip in some little pieces of fresh fig. And we're going to add some crunch to the dish, and I thought what better crunch to add to the dish than to use grains that maybe the duck would like to forage amongst. Put a little bit of that coloured carrot on top, a little bit of pepperiness. We've got some bronze fennel for some aroma, red sorrel for some citrus, some watercress. We can add a little bit of chamomile for some aroma again. Little pieces of elderflower, which is going to give it a little bit of added scent to the duck. A little bit of dressing over the duck, which is warm and sort of quite unctuous. So there's our warm salad of duck with a whole lot of complementary flavours that have been built up.
Well done. Beautiful. So, Alla, you cooked your beautiful spiced duck salad. Do you think we should get a couple of them up to taste?
Well, I think they're pretty toey about it, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm only going to get two up. Tregan and Ben, up you come. Tregan, you're first, are you? And tell us what you think.
I'll jump in.
The crunch and the texture and the softness of the duck, and it's all just beautiful.
Did you get a bit of the carrot puree and the Witlof?
I missed out on that, so I think I might have to go for a second go.
Ben, what did
I got the carrot puree. That is unbelievable. I didn't think carrot could be that sweet. It's so sweet and offsets the saltiness of that pancetta really well. I didn't think carrot could be like that. It's unreal.
What do you think are the most important things that these guys need to take away with them?
Well, just listening to you, I think I've sold you all on the humble carrot for a start. And that's the transformation of what's really basically a humble vegetable into something a little bit more ethereal. But it's that little bit of extra work that gives it that silkiness. Don't overcook the duck and use ingredients that are in season together.
Well, I think we should thank Alla for letting us come and take over a little spot next to the Lakehouse and look over that beautiful view and then watch her cook such a wonderful dish. Thank you very much, Alla, for cooking a beautiful dish.
Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Here we are in Daylesford at the magnificent Lakehouse. And for a second, I want you guys just to take a deep breath, take in that beautiful fresh air, but get ready with what you're about to do. Because there's 12 of you here, 12 of you that will be battling it out in an elimination challenge to see who will be going through to the top 24. The best 6 dishes will win their creators those final 6 spots in the MasterChef kitchen. You're gonna have to cook something French-inspired. French cuisine, something that we absolutely love. Harvey, you're our Spanish cook.
Indeed.
What does it mean for you to stay in this competition?
Oh, that's why we're all here. For me, personally, I've come here ferociously determined to get an apron, and I'm not going back to SA without one, so I'm going to get one.
Mindy, you cook with lots of Asian flavours. We can tell that's your passion.
Sure.
How do you feel going into a challenge where it's all about French cuisine?
I'm actually really excited about it. You know, French cuisine there's so many interpretations of it. You know, you can really get creative about it. That's what I love.
If you want to be a master chef, you have to understand the fundamentals of French cuisine. When I'm looking for a young chef, it's all about his technique. You know, the basics of cooking, whether they can bake, they can poach, they can fry, they can steam. It all comes back to French cooking, yeah?
Right, guys, the dish that Matt and I are going to demonstrate to you today is a really simple dish. Roast fillet of beef, Pommes Dauphine, and a warm vinaigrette of anchovies, capers, olives, and parsley. Matt, I think we're going to start with the roast beef.
So, guys, here we have a beautiful piece of eye fillet, yeah? The beef fillet is a muscle, right, which goes down the centre of your spine, but it's on the inside. All right? And it's also incredibly tender because it's not a working muscle.
It's just there.
In there,
inside. That's the rump. That's the loins. And it's in there.
Let's get into cleaning it, yeah? So we just go underneath it really carefully, cut it down. Once we've got a little bit of it like that, we just quickly, like filleting a fish. Now, if you look at the other side, you have quite a bit of fat there also, yeah? But I actually like to leave a little bit on because The fat is the flavour. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a centre cut out of it where it starts to thin out, yeah? Right there. Now that's your tail. Now, you know what the tail is really famous for? Back in the 70s and the 80s?
Oh, no.
Huh? You know I'm going to say,
oh,
George.
No.
They used to hollow it out.
Oh, no.
Inside and put oysters. And they used to call it the carpet bag steak.
Disgusting. Oh.
You don't remember it?
I do.
Yeah, now you've said it. Yeah.
What we're going to do now is to cut there, down, and now we have like the centre cut. Now that is the premium piece of beef fillet. We could quite easily just put that in a pan, yeah, and roast it all up, yeah? But, you know, being the perfectionists that we are, we like to keep that perfect shape, yeah? And we need to truss it. So trussing pretty much means to tie the meat up so you keep that beautiful roundness all the way through while it's cooking. Because we're going to roast it whole, I'm going to do it in what they call a butcher's tie. So we're going to start on the end. Basically what I'm doing, I'm just going to wrap it around my hand like that, go underneath, and just bring it up nice and tight, yeah? Again.
So can you just slow down that movement?
Up, hand, over, under.
1, 2, under. It's easy.
Right, guys, we get to the end. Yep, cut it. And just very carefully, just tie that end knot so when you are cooking it, it doesn't all unravel. Yep. And there we have our beef fillet, which is perfectly trussed.
Look at that. That looks fantastic. Hey?
Thanks, Georgie. Yeah. So, guys, the next step is to season it. Quite heavily season it, salt and pepper. What we're going to do, a little bit of hot oil. We're going to sear it. We're going to sear all those juices, get a little bit of crust on the outside so it keeps all those beautiful juices inside it. And then we're going to roast it in the oven.
Is there any reason you couldn't cook it in the pan on the stove?
All the way on the stove?
Yeah.
Kath, you could, but you need to keep rotating the meat. So every 30 seconds, turn. Now, in an oven, you've got equal amount of, you know, heat penetrating that meat on all sides.
Mate, we're nearly there.
Yep.
Nice and brown, nice and caramelised on the outside. Just going to pop that in the oven now. I would say for a piece of beef that size, we're looking at a hot oven around 200, 210, between about 12 and 15 minutes, yeah?
The next stage of this competition will test your knowledge of French cuisine. We want you to enjoy the Lakehouse in Daylesford, but we want you to pay attention because Matt and I today are going to give you some really simple French techniques that will hopefully give you some new tips, new tricks going into this crucial and important challenge, okay? So guys, we're cooking roast fillet of beef with Pommes Dauphine and a warm vinaigrette of anchovies, olives and parsley.
Now guys, my beef fillet's been in there now for about 12 minutes. So what I'm doing now is I'm just squeezing it. I'm just feeling it for the resistance that it has, yeah? Now I'll show you, there's an old tale of telling how a piece of meat is cooked, and it's on your hand. Up here is really, really firm, yeah? And that's going to be well done. And as you go down, it's a little bit softer to medium. Right down the end here, where it's really soft and gooey, that's rare. To me, that's perfect, yeah? It's going to be medium rare, which I think is going to be just absolutely perfect. What we're going to do, we're going to let it rest for about 15 minutes.
The next step is to make our Pommes Dauphine. Now, Pommes Dauphine basically is like crispy potato puffs, okay? That's what they are. We're going to make a simple choux pastry, and we're going to add mashed potato to our choux pastry. From there, we're going to fry them in oil, so you end up with these like little crispy, oozy, yummy potato things. To make our choux pastry, 60 mils of water, 50 grams of butter, a pinch of salt, okay? And we're just going to melt that down and bring it to the boil really, really gently. Okay, so our butter is melted. The next step is to rein in our 125 grams of strong flour. And as soon as that comes off the sides, that's pretty much ready to go.
So what I've done here to help George, I've actually got 2 eggs. We're going to add the eggs slowly. You're going to beat it into it, and that's what's going to let it puff up, yeah?
Now, important, don't add the egg into the hot pot with the mixture, because what's going to happen? It's It's going to cook and scramble, all right? It's going to just start to come together now. Beautiful. The next step is we need to add mashed potato to our choux pastry, all right? And now, to make mashed potato, what we've got is whole potatoes on rock salt in the oven. Now, the idea to bake these on salt is it removes the moisture and adds flavour. They've been in the oven for about 40 minutes at about 180 degrees until they're cooked through.
What sort of potatoes are you using,
They're
George?
Nicolas.
Nicolas, okay.
Matt's got a drum sieve here, and that's probably the best way to pass a potato, so you make sure you've got no lumps in it. We need 750 grams of potato. Once we bake it, we pass it off, and that goes into the choux pastry. So I'm going to add this mixture in, and then we get a piping bag, fold it over, yeah, around and over your hand, and then we take some of our mixture, and there's our Pommes Dauphine mixture, ready to be deep fried.
All right, George, I can help you with that.
You can help me with that. So we've got deep fryer oil in here, just a canola oil. We've got it heated up to 180 degrees, and we're piping the mixture into the fat, right? And we're just snipping it with scissors. You know, the French are clever little people, aren't they? Pomme purée. What else is there?
Lyonnaise.
Pomme lyonnaise with onions, yeah? And this is Pomme Dauphine. We're nearly there. Okay, so they're crisp and golden, all right? They just go onto a tray, okay? And as soon as they come out of the fat, out of that deep fry, you need to season them, okay? Because it's going to absorb that salt. Okay, so just to let us know where we are right now, we've got the beef resting, which is beautiful. Our Pomme Dauphine is ready. Now we need to make our little warm vinaigrette, and it's a simple one, okay? So it's basically a classic, I guess, tomato vinaigrette that the French make. Probably about 200 mils of olive oil in there. We've got these golden shallots. Now I use golden shallots because they've got a real sweet but subtle flavour. That goes onto the stove and we put that really low. I've got some anchovies here. These are Sicilian white anchovies. That goes in with our shallots and they're gonna literally disintegrate and add flavour. These tomatoes, we've blanched them, we've peeled the skin off.
And we're gonna take that core out. Why I'm doing that is I just want the actual tomato itself, yeah? I want the firm part of the tomato. I don't want all that liquid and I don't want all those seeds in my dressing.
Add our capers, they go in, and then a few of these olives, okay?
We're just heating it, yeah? So nice and softly, just really trying to let that sort of flavour come out. You know, once the oil hits room temperature, it's gonna bring the flavour out more, yeah?
You can do, it's just starting to warm up. We pull that off. And we just set that aside, and it's getting married at the moment. It's getting married, it's loving each other, it's on its honeymoon. It's so in love at the moment. And that's the point, we don't want to overcook it, we don't want it to go through a divorce, okay? So to that there, we're gonna add our tomato, and we add it just about 1-2 tablespoons. Okay, that goes in. Chopped parsley.
All we've got to do to finish it now is add a little bit of lemon zest.
There you go, and that's our little vinaigrette. It's easy, yeah? It's not hard.
Yum.
Now, guys, our meat has been sitting there resting for 15 minutes. It's gone lukewarm, yeah? Just to heat it up and just to give it that little bit of extra flavour, we always finish it with a little bit of butter. You grab a little bit of butter into your pot, into the original pot. We grab our beef fillet. It's going to sit it in the butter. So we're just going to baste it in that butter.
So I've got some rosemary, and you can add that.
You can smell that rosemary now, yeah? I'm going to take it out. So basically where the line is, where it all pulls in, that's where I'm just snipping it all the way down and just making sure that all the string is going to come off. I'm just going to cut that end off. If you look at this meat here, guys, it's been well rested, so when I squeeze it a little bit, you get that beautiful, that moisture in it, yeah? You can see that beautiful blood.
Oh my gosh.
To me, that is cooked absolutely perfect, yeah? Medium rare. It's not too rare, but it's not medium or well done where you lose all that beautiful moisture in it, yeah?
Okay, so beef's ready to be carved. Our Pomme Dauphine is ready. Our warm vinaigrette is ready. I think we need some little cresses and leaves and
some local Daylesford vegetables over there, Georgie. Go and pick something. I'm going to start plating up. what we're going to do is just a tiny little bit of dressing. Going to put it down in the middle of the plate, yeah? So I'm going to cut one nice big medallion. Look at that. We sit that there. I always make my chefs put a little bit of salt on the end so you know that it's actually got enough seasoning on it, yeah?
Place our little Pommes Dauphine around. I've just picked some little cabbage leaves from the inside of the cabbage, all right? Some little radishes just sliced up, just stuffed locally to Daylesford, and I think we've got to celebrate it. We're here, aren't we?
Definitely.
You know?
Just going to put a little bit more.
A little bit more dressing.
It does not get any better than that, really, does it? Huh?
Woohoo! Roast fillet of beef with Pommes Dauphine and a warm vinaigrette of anchovies, tomatoes, olives and parsley. Right, it's time to taste. Kath?
Ooh!
And Keen.
Yeah.
Woo!
So basically, Kathy, what we want you to taste is the beef, the potatoes and the warm vinaigrette all at once.
I'm salivating.
The vinaigrette is just so delicate and warm.
The vinaigrette really brings out the meatiness of the beef. Yeah.
The potatoes as well, that sort of smoothness of it.
Compliments to the chef. Compliments to the chef. Thank you, guys. You go and take a seat. Okay, guys, for me, it's very important that you understand technique. And the technique in that vinaigrette was the warming of that oil with careful precision.
With the beef fillet, it's all about the technique of cooking it perfectly. And also the choux pastry. Make sure when you add those eggs, it's taken out of the pot and it's not too hot.
Now, for some more fun. I bet you're curious to find out what the others have been up to. So why don't you go and find Gary? You're going to have a ball.
Woo! Fantastic.
See you guys.
Come on, guys, take a seat. You're just in time for a little sweet finish to the day. You guys have watched Matt and George give you some little tips and tricks, and you guys have had the pleasure of having Alla Wolf-Tasker cook a beautiful duck dish. Doesn't get any better. See, now you're wishing you were sitting here. It's all right. So what I'm going to cook is a simple dessert. Fresh fig tart with a simple frangipane. It's that sort of classic, you know, almond paste made with normally egg whites, egg yolks, almonds, and you'll get a lovely soft crumbly texture from that and a little pistachio crumble. So should we get started? Yes. Sweet pastry first. Who makes it? Who makes pastry? Who doesn't make pastry? It's always the boys. So I've got 120 grams of unsalted butter. You can use salted, but I like to add the salt in to my own proportion. I've got 30 grams of icing sugar, and I'm going to put in a little pinch of salt. And then what I'm going to do is give it a buzz. Give it a good blitz, and you want the butter to go creamy and white. And then I've got 240 grams of flour. And this is plain flour, not self-raising. So we're going to just mix this for 30 seconds, and then we're going to add an egg. One single egg should do it. Now, Sam, do you want to come up here, mate? You big boy, you big tough boy, you. Got clean hands?
Yes, I do, sir.
Yeah, good. So just sprinkle a little bit of flour on here. Get it out of the container, pop it on the bench. You can actually smack it out on the bench. What I want you to do is just bring that pastry together. What we don't want to do is over-mix it. We just want to mix it so it's ready to go and we can roll this out, okay? And what I tend to do is flat it out into sort of a vague shape that I'm going to use, right? So next stage is the flan tin. So, Sam, have you lined a flan tin before or a tart tin? Never done it before. Have you rolled pastry out before?
Never.
Oh, God. Right, pass the flan tin over, and what we're going to do is you take a look at that and go, right, obviously, I need to roll it out that size, so it really need to at least that big. All right? A little bit of flour on the top, all right? And what you want to do is just be very gentle with it, all right? Keep going, and I want that pastry to be about 3-4 mil thick. See, he does have a gentle touch, doesn't he? That's good.
Yep. Thickness?
Yeah, I think that's good. So I'm just going to have a feel of this pastry. You've done a good job. what I want you to try and do, pick it up, and I want you to very loosely roll it over the top. And when I say loosely, what you want to happen, you want to be able to just sort of fold it in quite loosely. It's almost like you're just tucking in a blanket. Lift it up first and just, that's it. Now, very loosely, right. Now, very quickly, lift in, see how it's breaking? Just drop it into the corners of the tin. Now what you can do is you can fix up some little gaps, so don't stress about it. Because it's such a soft, buttery pastry, you can fix up all those little cracks. Yeah, I like it. Well done. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Cheers. Good job. So we need to blind bake this tart until it just takes on a little golden brown tinge. That's important. That's blind baking, all right? So line that and then fill it with baking beads or rice. And all they're there to do is just to keep that pastry in place. So that gets put in a 160-degree oven, all right, which is a moderate oven, for 10 to 12 minutes until it's just tinged that lovely little golden brown. And then we'll put the filling in. There are two other major components of this tart. The frangipane, which we're going to show you how to do, but also a little pistachio crumble, which I just pop over the top just to add a little element of interest. So we'll do the pistachio crumble first, and then we'll make the frangipane. So these pistachios have been pre-blanched peeled, all right? And I'm going to blitz those until they're quite fine. So it's a third of a cup. Give that a blend. And then I'm just going to pop 40 grams of flour and 40 grams of sugar. Put it in a bowl and then add about 30 grams of butter. And I prefer using my hands because I want it actually to be quite sort of clumpy. And then I'm just going to scatter it out. And I don't mind if it's a little bit clumped together because you'll get little sort of pockets or little lumps that'll look quite funky on the tart. And then we bake that same temperature oven, 160, really only for about five or 6 minutes. All right? It's cool? Easy? Yeah. OK. In the oven. So the next up we're going to do frangipane. And I love frangipane. It's that sort of nice almond mixture. It's nice and soft. When it bakes, it'll rise, and you'll get a lovely soft, crumbly texture from that inside the flan. It's that sort of classic, you know, French filling that you find in those little baked pear tarts. And one of my favourites is, you know, like a rhubarb or a pear tart, you know, straight out of the oven, or a prune tart. Or actually, let's be honest, all of them are my favourites. Got 120 grams of lightly softened butter, all right? Got 120 grams of caster sugar, so it's equal quantities. And then what we're going to do is we're going to whip that until it's nice and creamy. Right. Now, Kylie, you're our pastry queen. Come over here and you can give me a hand. Why do you like pastry so much?
Because I like licking the bowl.
Yeah, no.
I was going to.
Pop that down, get it on. And remember, we're looking for that nice creamy white texture. We want the sugar to be dissolved, essentially. I think what we'll do is we'll crack the eggs and then put in one at a time while the motor's running, and then a yolk. Right, so eggs are in. So I've got 2 tablespoons full of pistachio paste. So if you just scoop that out.
Gary, how have you made the pistachio paste?
I've bought that.
Oh, OK.
You can make your own pistachio paste. You can just take, fresh pistachios, blitz it. You can add a little bit of oil, and then they'll become a paste, all right? And what's this?
Oh, that's the almond liqueur.
Almond.
Amaretto.
Ah.
Yeah.
So we'll put a few drops in.
Yum.
All right. Now what we want to do is put in the flour and the almond meal. So sieve the flour. So there's 40 grams of plain flour. Should be able to sieve the almonds as well.
So how much almonds?
So we've got 120 grams of almonds, because that makes it nice and fine. You can rub them through. I'm just going to put some lemon zest in, because I love lemon zest in baking. All right, so that's our almonds and flour mixed together, ready to go into the machine. Now you realise why we've used the paper.
Yeah.
Is that you pick it up and then tip it in. Right, off you go. So once it's in, it's incorporated, pick up the speed.
Should we check the crumble?
Ooh. Perfect.
Yum. Looking good.
So I still want the green on this, all right? So I don't want it to be all brown. So I just want it to be attractive. So do me a favour, your last little flurry, scrape that frangipane into the bowl so we're ready to go. We're nearly there. I'm happy. Go on.
Yeah? Isn't it the other side?
Nah, I'm not going to do it. Right, go and sit back down.
Thank you. Yum.
So the tart's cool, okay? And it's just cool enough so that you know it's not going to melt any of the frangipane before it goes into the tart. You can pipe this in, or you can just spoon it in, it's fine. We'll just spread it. And you need to put it at about 3/4 full. Because of the eggs, it'll rise a little bit. So all I'm going to do is cut the figs, do quarters, and then we're just going to pop them on, just press them into the frangipane a little bit. It's really important, and this is crucial, that you always have one piece left over. So this now goes back in the oven, and this will take around about 20-25 minutes, okay? Again, moderate oven, 160 degrees, perfect. All right, so in she goes. Iron baking, fresh fig tart. This has been in for about 25 minutes, so let's have a look at this one. Beautiful, yum. That looks good, doesn't it? So the reason why we're using figs is because they're perfect this time of year. They're in season, they're really beautiful, but don't hesitate to use another fruit. Bit of honey. This is a wolf in the kitchen, which is Alla's honey, so local area. So I just had to use it, really beautiful. That'll give it a lovely little finish. You can use apricot jam. And then what I do with this crumble is I just put it over the top in little pockets, and I want some of those little lumps as well. I picked something that's really slimming. This is just a really double thick cream. So there you have it, a very simple pastry recipe. Just all the little basics put together that you guys need to know, but just a wonderful, simple, fresh fig tart with a pistachio frangipane and a little pistachio crumble. I'm happy with that. That's all right. And I'm actually getting quite hungry, so... Mario?
Oh, sweet.
TK. I just want you to get stuck in, to be honest. I just want you to have a go, you know, because the wonderful thing about this, you can take a fork, but I reckon even just Mario's got the idea. Do you really want to do it like that?
Yes.
So do I. Right. Oh, Mario. Oh, my God. I love my own cooking, but that's wonderful.
It's really light and crumbly. Oh, that's fantastic.
It's really nice and nutty, and the honey really just gives it that moistness on top. And that cream, oh my gosh, just cuts through it. Yeah.
There you go.
Lovely.
Total knockout. Right, sit down, guys. I'll divide this up later. So we said at the beginning of this masterclass, it's about preparing you. When you pull up a lid on a mystery box or you wander into the pantry and go, hell, what am I going to cook? You rely on those basic building blocks that you've been taught in masterclass. That's the point. Right, let's get down to the nuts and bolts. You 12 still have to earn your spot in the top 24. You got a French elimination challenge, and you need to be thinking about what you're going to do and how you're going to impress. But what you don't know is that you've got 90 minutes to put up that beautiful French dish and blow our socks off. Because you know there's only 6 spots left in the top 24. So with all that in mind, and since we're at the Lakehouse and in a beautiful part of the country, let's have a little glass of champagne, we'll sample some of Daylesford's finest, and we're done. First masterclass. Have a glass of champers, something to eat.
Oh, we got here.
Is it? How beautiful is that? Glass of champagne, Daylesford, how wonderful. And maybe the only time you really get to relax with you lot and go cheers.
Cheers! Next time on MasterChef Australia.
Knowing that there's only 6 more aprons left, it makes me want it even more.
12 hopefuls serve up a classic French-inspired menu.
I like eating French. Can't say I've ever cooked French.
Judging them, Australia's master of French cuisine, Jacques Ramond.
You think this is a deux calories? This is very wrong.
In their last opportunity to make the top 24.
George just said to me, are you worried about anyone? And I said, everyone.
With the final 6 aprons on the line, the stakes have never been higher.
If I mess it up, it's bye-bye Yukio for me.
I don't like that at all.
To have it just there and not get it would be absolutely gutting.